hesitate. Show no mercy.
You don't know the power of the dark side. We would be honored if you would join us. You don't know the power of the dark side. It is pointless to resist, my son.
Stretch out with your feelings. Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
What is up, everyone? This is BX Sports Jedi Kev for the Bronx Bombers Strike Back. I haven't been a while. It's been a while. I haven't been on the air talking a little about Yankee baseball. Also feeling a little more better, a little under the weather. But let's get right to it, man. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Black Friday. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And, of course, we are here for the questions of the hostile for the New York Yankees. What are we thankful for of this season? Of course, Aaron Judge. The big question is Aaron Judge. Congratulations to Aaron Judge winning the American League MVP. Last time I was on the air, I wasn't able to give him his congratulations, his flowers. And, of course, I am so thankful to be back on here. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my 2 cents before we get going. Salute to everyone in the chat. What is going on, TT? T5, salute. Well, he hasn't talked for a while. His Facebook got suspended, as well as Chris the Flash. Salute Chris the Flash in the building. Let's get right to it. Aaron Judge unanimously wins the American League MVP. Of course, he is the free agent darling. A lot of reports said he met last Tuesday with the San Francisco Giants. All indication points that the Yankees are the front runner to sign Aaron Judge. There was a report by an unspeculated source, $337 million for 8 years for Aaron Judge is the offer currently right now, the leaderboard from the New York Yankees. The Dodgers said to kick the tires, and Aaron Judge is not interested in the Dodgers, which is I'm having a hard time believing that with Aaron Judge. But it helps Aaron Judge the more teams involved. The more teams want his services, the greater it is for Aaron Judge to get that money. All in all, I think Aaron Judge ends up with the New York Yankees. I don't think the New York Yankees lose out on Aaron Judge, although it won't surprise me if there is. I'm pretty sure the Yankees have plan A, B, and C in place. But before we go to the Judge and plan B and C, I want to also go into the Manager of the Year. I wasn't here. I wasn't available to do a video or a reaction on the Manager of the Year. I wasn't feeling well. And I'm going to give you my reaction. I know it's a little bit, I know whoever's watching this video late. Oh, this happened about 2 weeks ago. Absolutely. I'm aware of that. I just wasn't in good health to speak about it, but I want to speak about it now. Now, for the National League, we have Buck Showalter winning the American League, the National League Manager of the Year. And my rant with it, I'm glad that Buck Showalter won the National League Manager of the Year, as well as Terry Francona. Let's talk about both Francona and Buck Showalter. And when I look at those two managers, they're both managers that manage like a real manager, the real style of baseball. They're not into that mumbo jumbo nonsense of the analytics. And what does that say if they win their respective Manager of the Year award? We would have had the Manager of the Year award if our general manager would have taken his head out of his ass and not gone with the analytics and bringing Buffoon back last year. Buck Showalter was Yes Network analyst for the New York Yankees before prior signing with the New York Mets. We had him in our building. We passed up on him because we have our head so far up mathematical equations, nerds rear ends, that we brought back Buffoon in the season we had. My point is, the man who won the World Series, congratulations to the Houston Astros winning the World Series, Dusty Baker, another manager who we call a relic, old timer, a geezer. He manages traditional baseball. My point is, analytics hasn't won crap. Yes, is there room for it in baseball? Yes, there is. And I said I'm just going to come heavy because I sat on this for 3 weeks, 2 weeks to rant about it. Analytics has its place, but is not the front all end all being of running an organization. It has its place. But at the end of the day, you still got to manage with baseball IQ. Knowing when to hit, when to pitch, run, hit and run, steal bases. The fundamentals that this game was built over 100 years ago is baseball. Not because, the probability on the launch angle says that he's going to hit the launch angle up in the air. If he hits an uppercut swing with the ball up in the air, probability is going to go out of the park. Yeah. So what? The probabilities of me going into the local Publix, pick 6 numbers, and I'm done with being a millionaire, and I don't have to you never see my face again because I'm too busy on a yacht. That's an analytics, but I'm not going to live by it. That's just my opinion. My thought is here with the New York Yankees when it comes to that. Congratulations on the all-time managers. The managers who manage by the seat of the pants. Make the double switches. Know when to get the bullpen. Analytics, there is whenever you want some pitching matchup, righty versus lefty, when a guy is hot or not, but it's making the game unbearable. Baseball with the analytics, in my opinion, it takes the fun. It's not fun because the analytics said this guy. It doesn't make it fun. It doesn't make it the element of surprise, of the human element of the Mark Lemke, the 5'11" guy come out on the pinch hit or comes out to bat against the 6'5", 101 mile per hour flamethrower, and he comes and he gets a hit and gets the opposite base hit, and here comes a speedy runner because he pinch ran, and excitement, or you have the play at the plate with Sid Beam. Those type of things, analytics cannot, no matter how much math equations, no matter how much square root you could find, you're not going to get it. In my opinion, it's ruining baseball. It's taking the fun. It's making the game boring. It's making a Yankee product, not just the Yankee, baseball product in general, boring. And I'm glad now that the shift is gone. There is not going to be a baseball shift here. We're going to see a lot of left-handers starting to get better. Now, what brings me now to my next point is with the New York Yankees. Now, let's take it right back because this is a Bronx Bombers Strike Back podcast. I wanted to give my thoughts of the managers of the year. Kudos to them, and kudos for traditional managers. Me, personally, I was so excited to see both managers win it because they're traditional managers. None of this hocus pocus analytics crap, and I'm happy for them. I'm glad that they won. They got their managerial awards. Now, the Yankees, it seems like Brian Cashman will be returned as a general manager. I don't know what's this mystery of him not working without a contract. Either he's, how, kudos to how he got in front of the cameras, talked to Meredith Marakovich on the hot stove, had 2-part interview, said they're going to spend money. They had in contact with Judge. He seems like he wants to be a proactive owner, but action speaks louder than words. We all know that. When you want to prove something, your action is going to speak louder than words. And I think with the Yankees here, with Howe, he needs to open up his pocketbook here, spend some money. I know Judge, he said he has conversation with Judge back and forth. I think that deal gets done personally, but first and foremost, get your general manager, get your house in order. When I mean get your house in order, if we're going to go general manager Cashman, sign him already. Introduce him as a signed manager, as your general manager, go forward. We all know Aaron Boone is returning. Howe still enjoys having Boone as a manager, says he manages well to some parts. All right, that's fine. And now I think we're going to give Boone this one more year. I would have loved Boone to be gone, but there really wasn't a sexy managerial replacement out there that you're going to say, let's bring him here. I think the Texas Rangers getting ahead of the Yankees and bringing Bruce Bochy was a telltale sign to bring in a smart manager who has baseball IQ into the clubhouse. Kudos on the Texas Rangers for getting ahead of the Yankees, in my opinion. I don't think there was anyone sexy, anyone that is going to move the fan base besides Don Mattingly. Now, I don't know if Don Mattingly wants to take a year off and then come in and become even a hotter commodity because it's also about money as well. If Manley sits 1 year out in the major, this is my opinion. Manley sits 1 year out here this season. Next year, he's gonna have a bunch of teams, a bunch of jobs available. He a return to Dodgers. He could be a return. They don't like Robinson out there in LA. He could be a return there. He also, the Red Sox job. Yes, I hate to say it, Don Mattingly with the Red Sox. If the Red Sox has another subpar year, could they bring in a Don Mattingly in there? Possible. They also talk about a successor for Buck Showalter down the loan as a bench coach for Don Mattingly. No, point is, Mattingly sits a year. He's going to command another $2 million, in my opinion, a year if he comes in because he's going to be the most sought out manager out there. Joe Girardi will be out there, but I don't think Joe Girardi with the Yankees, a re-love or remarriage is not going to work with the general manager. I don't think that will work there. Also, I don't see any other sexy names out there for the Yankees to bring in other than Don Mattingly coming in if Boone doesn't work. But we're hoping it doesn't. I hope next year we're talking about Aaron Boone, possibly taking the Yankees to the World Series. I know as much as we don't like him, as much I'd be the first one to say I'm not a big fan of Aaron Boone. But if he's the manager, I want the best for the team. Now, with that said, we need a general manager. We need the general manager already in place. Get the house in order. Get that going. Now we need to sign Judge. $337 million for 8 years is not a bad contract. It's a very, very, very good contract. If that is truth, if there's any facts to what is being reported out there, that's what the Yankees offer, the last offer. That's a good deal. Now, if San Francisco Giants go 400 for maybe 2 more years, 40, it's going to be less AAVA for him to go to San Francisco. Remember, one thing that no one talks about in anywhere is the tax implication. San Francisco, the state of California, has a higher tax implication than the state of New York. That's why a lot of teams would like to go sign for Texas, Florida, the non-state tax teams. You get more money, more value. But right now, the teams that looks like that's bidding for Aaron Judge is don't forget the White Sox or the Cubs are a sleeper team. They could come in the last minute, offer some money, and get involved. Like I said, the more teams involved for Aaron Judge, the more greater it is for Judge, for suitors, for his number to go up. Now, everyone's losing their marbles that he took a meeting with the Giants. That's normal. Why did he deny it? And what's he going to go say? I'm going to go. It's all part of the tactics. He's going to meet with them. That's all fine and dandy. The Yankees, Hal even said if he signs with the New York Yankees, whatever millions, he will be named the next New York Yankee captain. Now, a lot of people say there's not a lot of stock to that. Who cares? Whatever it is. Thank you again, Chris. It doesn't matter where the Yankees bring him as a captain or not. Just get the job done. Now, if the Yankees were going another route where we don't get an Aaron Judge, there's other names out there. There's nothing to be panicked about. But you're going to lose that 60 plus home runs, 100 plus RBIs presence in the middle of the lineup. We also saw Craig Bellinger. Bellinger has been not tendered by the Dodgers. I'm not saying Bellinger will fill Judge's shoes, but you bring in a Bellinger who is a left-hand hitter in Yankee Stadium. Remember, they got rid of the shift. You bring in a left-handed hitter who could play, also has ties with the Yankees. His father won World Series here in the 90s with the Yankees. Oh, and it doesn't mean much. We understand that. That's two super generations. But the point is, there's motivation. Will he fit Aaron Judge's shoes? No, I don't think no one could fit those shoes. Christ sakes, there's a judge's chamber. Bellinger will be a name to keep an eye on the radar. You bring him in here, left-handed bat, left-handed stake for Yankee Stadium. Remember, you got to start building to your team, your strength to your team. In a perfect world, I would love to get either both. What's going on, Hector? What's going on? I would like to see the Yankees get both Bellinger as a left-hander and Judge, but I don't think it will work. I don't think they will go that deep, that extreme. You also got the Yankees would like to sign Andrew Benintendi back. We wanted to see if he will come back here. It'll be interesting to see if he will return for the Yankees and at what deal. Also, the Yankees made a kick. They kicked and found out they met some medical records on Jacob deGrom. To me, I think that's a pipe dream. I'm going to be totally honest. Jacob deGrom in the New York Yankee, that's a pipe dream because I don't see how spending the $47 million is going to take to get Jacob deGrom in here for 3 years. I don't see that. A lot of names. The next sexy name is Carlos Rendon. Now, Carlos Rendon is a good lefty. You remember I mentioned to say you get players to fit your stadium. You get the left-handed pitcher. Yankee Stadium always had a good left-hander left-hander. You saw with Nestor Cortez doing very well. Jordan Montgomery to a degree, very well. Andy Pettit. The list goes so off and so off. You always need a good, solid left-handed pitcher. In the end, Rendon fits the bit. One thing personally, me that worries me is health issue. I know he's been healthy for the last year and a half. You could say the same thing about Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, one was his main stigma, his health issue. The same thing with Carlos Rendon. Carlos Rendon would be a nice addition. We got to find out what kind of money is it going to be. Also, they're talking about Justin Verlander. Now, Verlander is just too old. Verlander, to me, is just too old. Would it help the Yankees get over the top? Possible. But then now, who do you have in the pipelines? See, if the Yankees had starting pitching that was in the single A level or double A, that we need a couple more years, 2 or 3 more years before we have this nonstop stud pitcher coming up, then that Verlander move makes sense. You could bring in Verlander for the next 2 years. You sign him for 3 years. You know you're going to get maybe a year and a half, 2 years of good Verlander. The last year, you probably get a CC Sabathia type of year until you have the phenoms ready to come up. But I don't think the Yankees have anyone in their farm system who we could think of that's a year, 2 years ready to come in and you do have that transition. Because remember, Cole is going to go on the decline. Excuse me. Cole is going to go on the decline. Also, we want to see what the Yankees do with their bullpen. I mean, I don't know. The Yankees are in a pinnacle point where whatever moves they make, it could accelerate or take them a step forward, or it actually could detain them and take 2 steps back. It's a real interesting off season. It all starts with Judge, the shortstop. I don't think the Yankees sign a shortstop. As much as we would like to get a shortstop, me personally, 2 names I wouldn't mind to get as a Yankee. I wouldn't mind Bogarts, personally. Wouldn't mind Bogarts or Swanson. I know that Correa, believe me, if it was the old of Yankees, I would have said Correa would have been here. But since they have those 2 young studs coming up in the minors of the 2 shortstop, Volpe and Peraza, I don't know if they'll sign. I don't think they'll sign neither one. That's why I say more Bogarts, because Bogarts you could get him on a cheaper deal, or even Swanson, and you could move a Gleyber Torres. I know Gleyber Torres was being talked about, rumored to Seattle. I don't think that happens either. I think a Gleyber Torres move will be somewhere, probably in they'll move him, but it will be a team that we don't least suspect, and we're like, ooh, they got that young pitcher. Don't be surprised if if the Yankees move Gleyber Torres with some prospects to the Brewers. Brewers looking to shave some money off their team, and they got a couple guys that we would like to, a couple pitchers there. Torres is not ready to get the big money yet. Mr. Jiggerman, how are we doing? Salute. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So we have to see where the Yankees attach their names to. Let me ask the chat here. I know I've seen a lot of your videos. I've seen a lot of the names out there, but give me a sleeper name. Give me a sleeper name that we don't see yet for the New York Yankees. That, you know what? I didn't think about it. To me, it's Patrick Byrne from the Brewers. I could see the Yankees ending up with Burns. I could see him. They want to shed money, cap space money, stay under that luxury. Don't want to spend. They don't want to pay. I could see that happening. I don't know. What also concerns me is the Yankees don't have a closer. We saw Steven Ridings got picked up, and I know Steven Ridings wasn't going to come in here and be the all end all. He wasn't. I'm not saying he was going to come in here and be, the next Mariano Rivera. No. But I also seen that he has potential. The Mets now got himself a pretty good arm coming back from injuries. The Yankees got to revamp their bullpen. That's one thing I'm going to give Cashman his flowers. Brian Cashman knows how to get bullpen arms. No one could not tell me he knows how to construct a bullpen. He knows how to bring a bullpen. He knows how to get the right arms. He knows when to bring the right guys. I could give him credit and flowers on that. Now, when it comes to starting pitching, we all know that the jury's out. He's not that good. He's not good. He's terrible in evaluating and bringing starting pitchers here. The list is on and on and on. My opinion is we need some strong bullpen arms. We need to go back to what made us Yankees' strength was left-handed dominance with the left-handed sticks. good bullpen arms, and being strong up the middle. I like Harrison Bader. Yes, I'm going to say it here on the stream. I think the Harrison Bader trade, now looking at it, let it marinate. It's a good trade. It's a good trade. You lost left-handed pitching, but you're now in the offseason where you could acquire left-handed pitching. See, when the trade was made at the deadline, you didn't bring in left-handed pitching. You gave away starting pitching to add a injured center fielder. Now is the offseason. You added a strong defensive center fielder, and now you just go out and go get yourself a left-handed starter, and it balances itself. That's a good trade because you add yourself a strong center fielder in Harrison Bader. I don't know what's the love that the Yankees want to get with Nimmo. I see Nimmo with the Mets. He's good, but is he going to take the Yankees to the next level? I don't think so. I don't think Brandon Nimmo takes the Yankees to that next level that they need. Is he an on base guy? He is, but he's not the type that would move the needle. With a Brandon Nimmo, the Yankees need. If Brandon Nimmo, I don't know, there's something missing about Brandon Nimmo. I think a lot of his stats are a little bit empty calorie. It's just me watching, hearing the Mets, listening to WFAN, listening to all the different Met fans complain about Nimmo's disappearing act from time to time. It's a name that I will try to, on the Yankees, stay away from. There's interesting names out there. It looks like they're going to stick with Higgy and Trevino as your catchers. I don't think, Rodvek is still on the roster. So looks like they're going to be a three-headed monster to compete for two spots when it comes there. Again, the one name that I forgot to mention, the Yankees tender Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. They gave him the $6 million. They could have given him a non-tender. They could have let him walk as a free agent. They decided to bring him back. Everyone is like, why? He wasn't that great, whatever, so forth. I think he has value. $6 million. He has value. You bring him in here, a guy who can play third base. You can move him to second. You can move him to short. You still need a shortstop. No matter what, even if it doesn't fall through, if you're even going to go with the rookies, you still need that veteran present at shortstop. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for one more year. The one name that the Yankees seem that they're going to bring back, which everyone is like, why in the world are you bringing him back? It's the third baseman, Josh Donaldson. Now, Josh Donaldson is returning. I think Josh Donaldson's better days is behind him. They're going to really think about having a platoon situation with a Donaldson when it comes to the New York Yankees. But at $25 million, I don't know if they move him. I don't know if they're willing to move him. I don't think the Yankees have any young players or a plethora of players that they could try to move him with, unless you're going to move, Oswaldo Cabrera with a Donaldson or even a Peraza, because, what I mean is somewhere where you have a plethora of talent to try to get that contract off here. Also Hicks, Aaron Hicks, his name, he's another player that I don't know what you could get from him. I'm asking you guys, what can the Yankees get from Aaron Hicks? I don't see much they could get for him. He's had now, it's going to be a year and a half of bad, baseball from him. He looks lost. He looks like he's not lost his confidence, first and foremost. They sent him last year. As you remember, he went to win a ball to the Dominican League. Didn't pan out so hot either. So it looks like the baseball skills has diminished so greatly on Aaron Hicks. I don't know if he has any value. I know we want to try to unload players to get better players back, but maybe we just might have to, I don't know, we might have to deal with this. We might have to stick with a Aaron Hicks. So look for the Yankees. If they do make some minor moves, maybe you'll see, Esteban Florial moved, in a minor deal for a single A player that they could put in the system and develop. Because you can't protect them all. So I don't know. I don't know what you think on that, guys. I don't see the Yankees off season being so active where we wanted, because it's easy to say, sign this guy, sign that guy, sign that guy. But remember, they only can fit 25 in a roster with 40 to protect all together. So they got to subtract before they could add. I know the Rendon. I know they're going to lose Jameson Taillon. I don't think the Yankees signed Jameson Taillon. I think Jameson Taillon, it will move on. I think he'll get a nice contract. I think he'll get some good money from a National League team. Won't be surprised if he ends up in a National League team to go sign there for a multi-year deal. Looks like Noah Syndergaard's the name out there for the Phillies. I don't know. We have pieces that other teams don't want. Yes, absolutely. That's that. You know what? I'm going to highlight that one. That's a perfect. We do have a lot of pieces that other teams do not want. We don't. No one wants a Hicks. No one wants a Donaldson. No one wants a Esteban Florio. To be honest with you, I don't see any names that other. Gleyber Torres is the only name, to be honest with you, out there for the New York Yankees that might generate some interest. And Oswaldo Cabrera, but you're not getting a king's ransom for an Oswaldo Cabrera. He's a nice player, multi-talented player that can play multiple positions. Unless if they're really going to go out and let go of and trade Jose Trevino, that's a name that they might be able to get something back in return, folks. If you think of Jose Trevino could bring you something back, and you got Rodvek, you got Shioka, that's a name that you might be out there. Taillon does not return, the Japanese pitcher. There was a lot of talks. The Yankees talked about him. Now with him, AJ, and salute AJ. Good to see you with us today. I wouldn't mind the Yankees bringing him in here, but is that I got to find out if that's part of the signing bonus, part of the international money pool, and all that. So I wanted to see that. I wanted to know what's all that. Let's see how that goes with the international players. Yankees haven't had any real success when it comes to international players, especially the pitching staff. But if it's going to cost you, what is going to cost you, $21 million? It all depends. It all depends on how. Would you want to get a proven Rendon over the Japanese starting pitcher? I mean, the upside on the Japanese pitcher might be pleasantly surprised that you might have something really good, AJ. That he might come in and he might be lights out, and you're like, whoa, we got himself a star, younger star, or Rendon who's pitching the league. We know what you're gonna get, a Rendon, left-handed pitcher. That's a good one. That's a up in the air. Let me see. I didn't receive it yet. I have not received the trade proposal. I'm Chris. I've not seen. Nothing has come to my phone yet. Let's see. I have not seen. And let's see. Chris has a trade proposal, but we'll wait for it to come in, and once we get that trade proposal in, we'll put it up on the air. And I don't know. We'll see with the pitching staff for the New York Yankees. They could make some trades for pitching. I know nobody wanted Pablo Lopez from the Marlins. I don't think the Marlins are going to make any trade. I think the Marlins are going to feel that almost that same team out there. I think the Marlins think they're close. I think they're close. I don't think they're eligible playoff or have to pay any much of their players. So I think when it comes to the Marlins, I think he will be staying put. I'm telling you, the team that is a wild card is those Milwaukee Brewers. Austin says Matsui was the great international players the Yankees signed, and that didn't come from the farm system. Yeah, you're correct. But I'm looking for the pitching, the arm. Everybody remembers Ken Kanagawa. It wasn't so great of a pitcher. Actually, Chin Ming Wan was a really good international player, a good pitcher until the injury. I thought he was really decent. Far-fetched, of course, Hideki Arabu. Hideki Arabu was another one that we mentioned. The Yankees, we'll see. A lot of these Japanese players want to play on the West Coast. Although I think the San Diego Padres are going to be favorite for his services, in my opinion, because it's an easier flight back to the Far East from the West Coast and all the way to the East Coast. We got to give credit to Hideki Matsui, who was the one that took the Yankees offer, and he did very well for the Yankees, MVP for the New York Yankees. Now, for the Yankees here, we're going to find out hopefully we will find out what Judge does as we wait for Chris for a moment. Hopefully we'll see what Judge does if he signs. Personally, I hope he makes his mind quickly up, before Christmas, before the Christmas winter meetings. If he makes his decision, take the offer, whichever offer it is. If just let us know, let us as a fan base or as organizations pick. And I know you try to get as much money as possible, but it looks like it's a 3-team race. It looks like it's the Giants, the Yankees, and that one sleeper team. I don't think there's any other teams. I don't think the Mets are involved. I don't think the Dodgers made them, and they already got said no. So on that other sleeper team could be anyone, from Chicago to the Texas Rangers, or even the Astros. I wouldn't be surprised Astros throw some money that way, but it'll be interesting. Also, good job on the Yankees signing our first baseman Anthony Rizzo. He is returned. A lot of people say telltale sign. Rizzo signs returns with the Yankees. That means that Judge might be returning. They're best of friends. Me, when I look at this, I always say one thing: money talks, friendship and bullshit walks. I'm just gonna keep it real, and I don't think So, and I don't know. I know that helps sometimes, but I don't know. Austin says also Rendon will be a great addition to the pitching staff, especially if Tyone is gone. Huge improvement, indeed. Indeed, Rendon. I know it's a lot. It's a really good pitcher, left-hander. Just a health issue. It's just a health issue. Or what about a return with Nathan Eovaldi? Nathan Eovaldi at a deal for returning to the New York Yankees. I'm just throwing names out there. Doesn't mean I want them, guys. Don't hold your slings and arrows back from attacking me when I throw these names out there. Nathan Eovaldi, personally, Nathan Eovaldi type of pitcher, he should be a closer. Not just me, but I know it's so different balls of wax, but it's the offseason. We got time to kill. Me, if I would try to sign a Nathan Eovaldi, I would try to say, hey, listen, I would love you to be a closer. Let's bring in Chris real quick. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, what's up, Kev? What's up, Chad?
All right.
I was trying to send you this trade proposal. All right, because I brought it up on Hector stream. How about trying to trade for Diaz, the right-hander pitcher, the reliever for the
Cincinnati
Reds?
Reds?
Yeah, and look, this is the trade. You could probably add one more to get it done. Cause I looked at the trade simulator thing. We could trade the shortstop Aries, Luis Hill, Gomez, Hicks, Pereira, and Torres, and the trade would basically be even.
It's a lot of players. A lot of Here's the thing. What I would say is it all depends on the Cincinnati Reds farm system. If they have room in their 40-man roster to absorb all those Yankees intake players, how they feel about it. If they're willing to not protect some of their own part of the 40 to absorb their players and not say that trade will work. See, it's great for us. That's one thing that trade simulators fail to incorporate is when other teams they remember every team protects 40 players who they don't want no other teams to touch. Now, and maybe some of these contracts like a Hicks, a Torres, they have to be part of the main roster, the main 25-man roster because of this contract language and whatever the case is. If that were to work under the Cincinnati Reds roster where they could fit it, that's a nice move because he is a young up-and-coming arm. Diaz is a young up-and-coming arm who's going to make some money in arbitration. He will be making money up soon. And, of course, a team like, a large market team like New York could pay that kind of money for his services. It does make sense, but it all depends, like I said, back onto those 40-man roster implications, who they're gonna protect, who they don't protect, Chris.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get like everybody to understand. It does make sense because they did trade before, even though Chapman had that issue with the domestic violence. They still traded a young Chapman to us, and I mean, look what he did his first couple years with us. Yeah, when he came back, he was overused, but when he was with us with him and Miller, he was dominant.
Oh, absolutely. That's why those trades, I don't know if those big names will make it. I will say a lot of younger players. You could see a lot of the double, single A. That's why you see a lot of those trades, a lot of young single A, young prospects move like I never heard of because, of course, they allow them to go into their A-ball system and they could develop there without being placed on the 40-man roster. Those kind of moves work like that. I could see the Yankees calling Cincinnati on that, but I mentioned the Brewers. Brewers look like they want to cut costs, clean house. Not much to the point where they're going to be terrible, but like a retool. And those are names like Burns out there and others. Look for the Milwaukee Brewers to be a team where teams are going to start calling to poach and get healthy on.
Yeah, if I had to choose between Woodruff or Burns, I'm choosing Burns because that would be the person I would give a Dominguez to, because the way he dominates, and then he just won a Cy Young like 2 years ago or a year ago. So if I had to choose between the two, it would probably be Burns.
Right, and that's the kind of moves that I could see a Cashman do. If he's still the general manager, which we all know he is, he's still making, hasn't been officially signed, which is kind of odd, but that, like I said, we know not to go around in circles, but that's exactly what's going on there. That's the kind of move that if he's the general manager makes, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the type of the Yankees bring that along, and especially if they want to lose take their focus away. I think that's in their back pocket. I think if Judge doesn't sign, they already have their, Cashman is known. They did it with Robinson Cano. When Robinson Cano immediately signed with Seattle, they made a move. I know it's not the right one, folks, and I know we can't stand the move, but the Yankees moved immediately. They signed Bellsbury as soon as he left to Seattle. They signed Ellsbury in a heartbeat. They had Plan B. They had Plan C. The Yankees always have the plans in motion. It might not be what we want, not what we might like, but believe me or not, that's why despite the fact they haven't won in so long, but they're prepared for at least for the different contingencies. And I think they have a ready plan set if Judge does not return to the Bronx.
Yeah, I told somebody this too. Like, I was a fan before Judge, and I'll be a fan after Judge. And people need to understand. Yeah, we might not get the same production with Judge with other players, but you can easily get other players to basically do a combination of what Judge did, or sometimes even better. It depends on who we trade for. Like, say if Ryan Reynolds is out there, just say if he is. I'm not saying he is.
He's been reported on. There's people called in and inquired. People are calling in, and his name is available. He is available for the Pirates.
What if we get a combination of Reynolds or Benintendi, or Reynolds and the Asian left fielder? Like, there's pieces that you can do to still make this team a winner. People just think, there is a limit. Like, I'm not gonna give Judge $410 million. That's just too much. I mean, I would love for him to stay on the team, but sometimes you got to think about the whole team. Like he said, he wants to play for a winner. If we give you that much money, they're gonna make that excuse like, oh, we couldn't pay these other players because we're giving you too much now. And everybody knows that's gonna be the excuse.
I can see that point when it comes to Judge and the money, but he's staying. I know he's not. I don't think he's leaving. He's gonna get his money. He's gonna get, and I think it's gonna be front ended. He's gonna have higher AVA in the front end, and I think he's gonna, as the years escalate, the contract will decrease in annual value. I think he's going to get paid higherly up front, and I think he's going to get the money. I think he's going to get close to $400 million, but he's going to be top loaded, and then it'll decline as the years, year 7, year 5, year 6 and 7. Don't be surprised if they put a escalating clause or an out clause after 4 years, 3 years, where he could renegotiate to get more money. It'll be if he really going out there and having those kind of years, it wouldn't be surprised. Sign up for another 5-6 years at his average AVA in 3 years. He's going to make even more money. So it all depends on his agent, which I think he's going to have some good agents who's going to make some smart languages in his contract, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would do I probably would give him 8 years, $350.
We'll see in that. And I love this one here. If the Yankees lose Judge, but trade for Corbin, get Rendon, that's 2 pitchers, folks, and a Turner, it'll be hard to complain for the Yankee fans. Personally, if I'll take this one. If you give me Burns, Rendon, and Bellinger, and that's it, I wouldn't mind going with the rookies as shortstop. The reason why, because here's the thing why I'm okay with it, because you have Anthony Rizzo as your first baseman. Well, he's not going to hit the home runs. Here's my point. Rizzo's going to save those 2 kids. Whoever you put at shortstop, from eras because he's a vacuum cleaner. That's a big This is a big sign. I know I don't want to deviate a little bit from when we were talking about Judge, but the signing of Rizzo at first base, that's telling me if you bring those rookie kids, even if they won't make the short throws, you got a guy who could pick it, who's the hell of defensive first baseman at first. That's going to help ease that transition on the shortstop. So I really think that was a huge major signing of Rizzo returning to the Bronx, Chris.
Well, I kind of like what your son said. Because Turner, it came out. Turner said he's willing to play second or third. So like, if you can get those two pitchers in Turner, and then put Turner at third, and then put one of them at second and one of them at short, that actually, I mean, like your son said, it shouldn't be no excuse why. Especially, I'll say this too, and I'm not gonna say it's happening. If that happens and we get those three players and say we get to the World Series, that should let you know that we didn't go to the World Series with Judge. We didn't win with Judge. But then we go when Judge leaves. Look what happened to the Nationals. They let Bryce Harper go, and look what happened. They won a chip the next year. I mean, sometimes it happens.
It opens up. It opens up sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's here with Judge. Sometimes it opens up to changing, and you're dictated or you're forced to play a different style of baseball. Mm-hmm. And when you lose a certain type of player, you're forced to play another style of baseball that might at that moment translate to victories or take you to that next level. You have a team that's playing a certain way and you lose an element where you're forced to play a certain way. It might be just enough to get you over the hump. I'm not saying that, well, that's why we need to let Judge go. No, I'm not saying that. But maybe sometimes fate dictates your style of play. And of course, it worked for the Nationals, and maybe that's what helps.
Yeah.
That too, Hector.
Yeah.
Of course. That's the main one too. It helps if you have a Juan Soto in your farm system. Absolutely. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not BS it. Yes, indeed.
Would you? I was about to say, would you trade? Because I heard these rumors too. Would you try to call the Braves about Ronald Acuna?
Hey, Ronald Acuna is special.
He's 24 too, so he's still young.
That injury though, but then here's the thing that makes you worry. Let me get excuse me. Let me ask you a question. 24-year-old, and he's already had that leg injury, and if Atlanta is willing to move him, red flag. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. It raises me a red flag with them because they signed him for long term. The Braves signed all their players smartly. They gave them long term. They bought out a lot of the early arbitration years. They signed them long term. They have them for a few years at a team friendly price. Now, if they're willing to move them, it'll keep me a little bit worried to stay away because why are they moving a 24-year-old dynamic outfielder with leg issues? That will worry me.
Yeah.
Yes, and Hector's right. Stay away because that injury is a career altering. Absolutely, it could be a Jermaine Dye situation. Jermaine Dye, when he fouled off that ball off his shin, never was the same dynamic player for the Athletics. Never was again. He was lethal until that injury. I'm not saying that's the same thing happening with Acuna, but we could see how injuries, like Hector said, could be career altering majorly. It'll be interesting. If the Braves are willing to move him, I'll do like I like the Rock Braves on eyebrow and say, I got something to worry about there. Chris. Other than that, I don't know. I don't see that there. But DeGrom, the Yankees, interesting. Picking up the medicals is I think it's just going through motions, just to kick the tires. They're just like when you go to buy a new car, you look at every car in the lot, even though you're not interested in buying a certain car, you still look at it. You still sit inside of it. You look at it. You're like, but all in all, you're not really in the market to buy the sports car. You're really there to get the pickup truck.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't be honest with you. Just like Acuna and Acuna Young, I mean, Jacob got too many injury concerns for me to try to give him that much money. I mean, he could break down. Yeah, he could break down anytime.
The same thing is said about Rendon as well with those two names there, but I think they're just kicking the tires, to be honest with you. I don't think there's anything there. Now, my question to you, I know you mentioned Diaz, but free agency wise, nothing excite me as a closer out there.
No, I think everything's in the trade market. The three teams I keep hearing is Seattle, Detroit, and the Marlins, and that's for Glaber. And if I was the Yankees, out of all three of those teams, I would try to make a deal with Seattle because they got the best arms in the bullpen, and apparently they want Glaber. So I mean, they got a couple good arms. I think one dude's named Flexen, and then Munoz. Those are the two I'll be looking for.
Well, now Seattle just made the playoffs last season. They just came in there. They just gave, they just signed players. They gave their Rodriguez a big contract. Castillo. Let me ask you, why would they want to move arms when they're just getting the cusp of getting in, tasting postseason, and going forward? It makes me wonder, why would you want to move your arms for Torres? That's another. I can see a team that just missed the playoffs and they're just in the cusp and they're but Seattle got there. Why would they want to move their arms?
Because I know in their system and everything they got a fluctuate of arms coming in, so they don't have a good second baseman. So the fit makes sense. Yankees need an arm and they need a second baseman.
Okay.
And we don't really need Glaber. I mean,
really.
Yeah, like we got all the we got the young infield. If DJ come back, and then we still got IKF, so it's like we don't really need Glaber. But
Oswaldo Cabrera too is a natural infield.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just the fit. That fit makes sense. Like everybody, like some people still bringing up the Pablo Lopez thing. I do not want Pablo Lopez. If I had to try to get a Marlins pitcher, I want Trevor Rogers.
Right.
If I gotta choose, I don't want Pablo because the last 2 years he hasn't been good. And at least Trevor Rogers, he's still young, and Matt Blake could work on that. Because I think Pablo's like 26, and I think Rogers is 24. He's 2 years younger. So that's just me though. I mean, I feel like Cashman. I'm hoping Cashman does the right thing if he's still our GM, quote unquote. But if I was the Yankees, I would try to see if Seattle would give up one of them arms for Glaber.
Okay, so we know that the Seattle is trading from a position of strength. I'm just being devil's advocate, folks. I'm just being a little bit of devil's advocate here. So we need to see that there. Now let me be another devil's advocate here. If you're seeing the Giants are trying to sign Aaron Judge, and we don't know that the Giants have a lot of success when it comes to winning World Series when they're pitching. Why not resign Rondon? Or you think both are in the pictures for the Giants? I know we're not Giants, we're not in New York, we're not San Francisco Giant podcast here, but I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here. If you're the San Francisco Giant, you want to sign Judge, but do you think they have room for Rendon?
I mean, I think they got room. To be honest with you, I think they just so focused on Judge. I think by the time they even try to figure out, I think Rodon's going to be signed.
So but the reason why I'm being devil's advocate, if you're Aaron Judge, now I'm going to a team that doesn't have pitching. So am I going to get better? Yeah, I'm going to get the bag, but am I going to get better, or am I going to go to a West Coast? You're going to go to the West Coast team where you will get good luck, and being market and being seen on a regular prime time, being the face of baseball. You're just going to get lost. I don't see a lot of Yankee fans, maybe in the beginning, but it's not staying until 10 o'clock at night to watch a San Francisco Giant game or be put on nationally televised that late. I don't think a lot of folks, you're going to get the Mike Trout treatment. You're going to get lost. You're going to get lost because of the time zone. Now, if you're Aaron Judge and you're talking about, a lot of these players want marketing brand and making money and so forth, and you're going to a team with no pitching, losing Rendon, is that really going to be a smart move on him? I'm getting that those are the questions that are probably weighing on that kid's mind.
Yeah, I know what he said was he wants to play for a winner, and right now, I mean, the Giants team is not a winner. I mean, especially right now we got a better bullpen, our lineup is a little better, and our pitching's a little better. So, if it's between us and the Giants, I would think we have the better team. But Like you said, it's all up on him. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, he's from the Bay and everything, but he already said, yeah, he's from the Bay, but his heart's with the Yankees. So he would have to choose if, say, the Giants gives him a little, 20 more million. I mean, I can't blame him because the Yankees should have been locked him up since his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Maria.
Maria. Let's go Yankees indeed. So we'll see them. We'll see what that would judge there. That's why I'm surprised he dismissed the Dodgers so fast. I don't know if that's true or not. But it was multiple reports saying that he's very dismissive with the Dodgers offer. Like, no thanks. Like, I have no interest in signing with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers was low years, but it was a high AAV. But people don't realize this. Yeah, he wants a high AAV, but he wants the years too. He wants to have stability.
Not only that, the longer the years, the more years down the contract, it helps out with the tax implication. Because even if you try to short term with a higher AVA, you're going to pay a lot of taxes. That's why those moves don't really work. That's why they want the long years, stretch out provision because of the tax implication. That's why they want to sign for those 8-9 year deals for that reason.
Yeah.
And that reason because of the taxes. That's the reason why. That's why they don't. You're like, well, why don't you just give a $55 million a year contract for 3 years and you're making up? Who's not going to say no to making $55 million a year? Is that because it's such a short term? They're really not going to make all that money because they're going to pay a lot of taxes year after year on that. That's why.
Well, Kev, I'm about to go.
I'm going to step off in a moment. I'm just got a few more minutes to wrap up. Just wanted to talk about a little bit of the all season. Not much happening here for the New York Yankees. Just wanted to give you my thoughts. I haven't been on the air for a couple of weeks, and just wanted to give you my quick thoughts, my quick hot stove talk, and hot points on the New York Yankees going forward.
I'm happy you feel better, Kev. I'm happy you let me join because at first I knew you was trying to do your thing. I just wanted to get that little trade out there because I knew you was like asking the chat about the trade.
Yeah, no.
Everybody have
anybody who wants
a blessed
to chat.
day. I gotta hurry up and run some errands, but I hope everybody have a good day though. And thank you again, Kev.
You got it, Chris. Man, check out Chris's channel as well as the Yankee Morning Brew, our friend Jiggerman Portal as well. And of course, we had Johnny Davis in there. Mike Mazda, the 4 Train Express. Don't forget to check him out as well. All those are Yankee content creators that back up the channel, and also likewise the same love is given to them. Of course, my man Hector, Yankee Morning Brew. You know it, man. Always special, as well as Chris the Flash. Now, before I wrap up here, Yankees, it is the season. It is the season, the beautiful holiday season. Yankees wish list. What I want for Christmas or what I want for the holidays. I want the Yankees to resolve this situation with Judge. Personally, I would love him to sign with the Yankees. But personally, I would love to find out what team is he going on already. That's the first and foremost. If it's the Yankees or not, so we know what plan B is. That's what I want. That's what I want for the New York Yankees. Steven, salute, thinks Judge is leaving. Okay. Me personally, what I want for Christmas is to find out where is he going. Finally, give me your answer. If your heart is in San Francisco or others, or if you're returning back to New York, and if you're going to if we're going to keep Judge's chambers, because we need to know. We need the construction workers to know if we're going to reconstruct Judge's chambers back to right field, or we're going to keep Judge's chambers for a new season. That's the first and foremost. Secondly, for the New York Yankees, I want to know if we get some pitching. Wouldn't mind a couple starters, a starter here, a left-handed starter, and some bullpen arms. I would love for the Yankees to get a bullpen arm. Durley gave us a left fielder who is going to be healthy, who is a contact hitter, and who's left-handed. I want to see that out. Jay Boogie, salute, my man. How are you, man? I'm glad to see you. I hope your Thanksgiving is well. Thank you for stopping by and giving me some love on the channel. I appreciate it, my friend. And what I want for Christmas after that, some bullpen arms. Give me some trades. If we're going to move Gleyber Torres, give me some arms by some way, some form. Revamp the arms, and let's get going for the New York Yankees. Want to see some strong arms, some strong bullpen arms, and what I want for the Christmas season. But for that, we'll keep an eye on that. Any news that breaks here on the winter meetings, we will break that down. Also, stay tuned. Pretty soon, in a couple of days, we'll have a video out for the Mets. Met fans have not forgotten about you. the Q44. I know we haven't done much of the Mets, but the Mets wish list, the Mets rumors. We'll have a video, a podcast only on the Mets coming up soon. We're just trying to work those out and see what news and context the Mets will bring up. A lot of news with the New York Metsies. And don't forget tonight, the New York Knicks return into action tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. Chef Dan, myself will be back on the play-by-play tonight. And of course, tomorrow, the New York Rangers take on the Edmonton Oilers. Here, we'll have the watch along. It's Connor McDavid will take on the New York Rangers coming back from that road trip. 2-1-1 for the Rangers on that road trip. So for myself, thank you so much, Chris the Flash. We appreciate you guys. We hope your Thanksgiving was well. Thank you for giving me a 45 to an hour of your time this Black Friday. Remember, it's the season. Tell someone that you haven't talked to in a while. Hello. And of course, season's greetings to everyone. We're in the holiday season, folks. Let's go Yankees. See you next time.
Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
We would be honored if you would join us.